prove he is the MVP last night?
No. He proved he is the best player in the game. You cannot take that away from him until it's proven in the finals by another great player. But MVP, and by the way, I hate the MVP award. It shouldn't be a regular season award. You know how I stand on that, Molly. But if we're just talking the literal definition of the regular season MVP, it's Joel Embiid, who's, by the way, got his team in first place, and he ain't playing with AD, who recently beat the Nets and the Lakers and the Celtics twice, who is averaging, let me just throw out some stuff at you, Perk, because here is last bunch of games, okay? 42-10, 38-11, 33-14, 28-6, 37-11, 34-11, 37-5, 33-9. He's putting up the kind of numbers that Shaq has always said he needs to put up consistently in order to really fulfill his potential and be the dominant big guy. He's doing it now. You want to talk about, do I think Joel Embiid's better than LeBron? No. Do I think his team's going to win the finals? No. Do I think LeBron's the best player in the game? Yes. Do I like the way the MVP's set up? No. But if you're asking who so far is the regular season MVP, it is very clear, and that's Joel Embiid.
Well, Max, I'm not about to hoop and holler with you right now because I'm a fan of Joel Embiid, and I think he is having an MVP season. Those numbers that you told me that you just shot out there, those are dominant numbers. But if Molly asked the question and said, last night, did it prove that LeBron is the MVP? My answer is yes. Okay, yes. And here's why. A wise man told me it's not what you do, it's how you do it, okay? And when you look at the fashion that LeBron James is playing in, the effect that he has on the game, it's a beautiful thing to see in year 18 at the age of 36 years old. Here you go. Here you got a guy by the name of D. Wade, who played with LeBron, won championships with him in Miami, saw a great LeBron James down there, and said, this is the best LeBron James that I've ever seen. And so when I watch the game and I'm watching the Lakers play, I'm watching LeBron James go from being a small forward to a scorer when he's playing alongside Dennis Schroeder at the start of the game, to when Dennis Schroeder goes out the game, he goes back to being a point guard and a facilitator. He's passing the ball on time, on target. You watching guys like Wesley Matthews and Caldwell Pope not have to reach high or reach low. The ball is in their shooting pocket. You watching LeBron James dissect defense, read the defense better than he has ever done in his career, right? Get to his spots. Triple jabbing, jab step, going left, pulling up for his jumper. We're watching the best version. And by the way, offensively, I just told you what he's doing. Everything perfect on the offensive end, he's doing perfect. On the defensive end, guess what? At 36 years old, he's a better defender than your boy Kawhi Leonard right now because he's guarding people. He's guarding people. So when I look at it, he's not only giving us the offensive package and making others around him better while doing it. On the defensive end, we could argue and say he's the defensive player of the year. So I'm looking at it, the whole body of work, and watching what LeBron James is doing and his impact on the game. And when we thought that because of a short NBA offseason, it was going to be load management, and he's played every single damn game. Even the ones AD has missed, even the back-to-backs where we thought he was going to be resting. No, he hasn't rested. In the last 2 weeks, by the way, he's ranked top 10 in minutes. So he's landed out there on the line every single night, and he's coming up with wins. He's got back-to-back triple-doubles. So right now, although Joel Embiid, you got Big Jokic playing well, it's a lot of guys that are playing exceptional basketball. But when I look at the overall body of work and the impact on the game, not just stats, because Braun is doing that also, but the total impact, I got to give it to LeBron James, Max.
Let's talk total impact. I'm not saying LeBron's not a miraculous player. He is. And you're right. He's been AD really challenged him. He said on this show, he challenged him to play intense defense last year. And I think AD deserves some credit for being an influence there because LeBron is playing defense more consistently than he did in Cleveland. It's more like the Miami days, but with a little more wisdom. So like I get what you're saying. Defensive player of the year so far is Joel Embiid, actually. Like, I focused on Embiid's offense, which has been the best in the game this year so far, if you want to talk about the numbers he's put up. The defense, Embiid has been look, last year I was saying Ben Simmons was the best defender in the league until he got hurt. The best defender on the Sixers this year is Embiid. And he's doing it on the offensive end, and his team is in first place. Matter of fact, they don't know what to do with Embiid. You know who he was giving AD the business when they went head-to-head. He was abusing Anthony Davis. And in fact, LeBron took him out of the air, right? Like when Embiid went down hard, LeBron and Gasol were like, what are we going to do with this guy? Nothing. They took him out of the air. He landed hard and wasn't the same after that. Until then, he was giving AD the business. And on the defensive end, Perk, you want to argue someone else is the defensive player of the year? You said you're not going to hoot and holler about the NBA. I'm not going to hoot and holler about it either. If you ask me my honest opinion right now as to who's played the best defense, any individual player, which player has most affected the defense of their team and the offense of the other team this year so far, I'm going to tell you Embiid.
Yeah, but Max, that's crazy for you to say because you're a stats and analytics guy. And for you not to know the stats and analytics, that's beyond me right now because that's what you rely on. Who's the number one defensive team in the league, Max? Can you tell me that?
No doubt. Yep, the Lakers are top 5 offense and defense.
Okay. I said, who is the number one defensive team in the league, Max?
All right,
the Lakers.
And?
Right? Okay. Who is number one at guarding their opponent 101, Max? LeBron James.
Go ahead.
LeBron James. So I'm going to just leave it at that. I mean, we're not even about to talk about the defensive side of things because Molly didn't ask about the defensive player of the year. I just threw that in there to show you the overall effect
the MVP.
that LeBron James is
we said
having
MVP, but
that LeBron James is. But I'm telling you that he's giving it to you on both ends of the floor, Max Kellerman. That's what I'm telling you.
So is Embiid. Look, Seth Curry and Tobias Harris. You notice how Tobias Harris looks better on defense this year? Why do you think that is? It's because big Joel Embiid is right there, holding it down.
Doc Rivers.
Embiid has had a ripple effect on the defense of this team. You want to say Doc Rivers has gotten Embiid to play more consistent defense? Whatever. But he is doing it. I think of every player in the league, the guy who steps on the floor and affects the other team's offense the most is Joel Embiid. I also think he's been the best offensive player in the game so far. His team is also in first place, and he has a recent win against LeBron and the Lakers and against Durant and KD and the Nets. He's the MVP at this moment.
Max, here's the thing that I'm not knocking that Embiid is not in the MVP conversation. But Molly asked me a question, and I answered it, and I told you why. And I'm not going to sit up here and defer because you sitting up here telling me about Embiid and his impact or whatever. I'm telling you why I feel like LeBron James is the best player in the world and is the MVP of the league. And if you watch it with your eye test, it's a different impact. Yes, Embiid is going down there and give you 30-plus points. But when I look at the overall impact, when I watch a guy like Wes Matthews, and I'm not taking anything from Wes Matthews. Watching the game last night, before last night, I believe, hold on, listen, Max. I believe that Wes Matthews had about 4 DMPs before last night. But credit to him for staying ready so he didn't have to get ready. His number was called. And so he had a monster game last night on the defensive end and the offensive end. But guess what? We didn't have to see Wesley Matthews dribbling up the court and making plays. The game came to him so easy because he's on the point. He's on the floor with LeBron James, and LeBron James was hitting him with pinpoint passes where all he had to do was just knock down shots. And he
it.
just that. That's what I'm
not
talking
arguing
about, the impact.
I'm not arguing against LeBron. I acknowledge the impact, but I'll give you another one for Embiid, okay? In the way the Sixers are constructed, when Embiid's not on the floor, they can't do anything. Not only do I think he's been the most valuable offensive and defensive player this year, not only is his team in first place, and he beat LeBron's team head-to-head and KD's head-to-head recently, but when he's not on the floor, they can't function because Dwight Howard and Ben Simmons both need the paint to score.
All right.
So, in fact, in terms of value to his team, it's even more.
Yeah, last word, Perk.
Molly, real quick, I just witnessed about a week and a half ago the Philadelphia 76ers get a hell of a win on the road against a tough Pacers team without MB. I'm going to just leave it at that, okay?
Okay, fair enough. And I'm going to leave you with this note. At 36, if LeBron wins MVP, he will pass Karl Malone back in '99 as the oldest player ever to win MVP. All I know is Brady, LeBron, all these people doing these things at an advanced age, crushing. It's really giving me life. It's making me feel better about